I am not a historian at any means, but I do love nature. I'm actually Jim Zarnecki. I'm the owner of Taking Shape via Indoor-Outdoor Fitness. I am a fitness professional where I train people, personal training in their own homes here in Berkshire County. And then I also provide guided outdoor excursions, hiking, biking, kayaking, snowshoeing, and I'm actually thinking about taking up cross-country skiing as well, because it would be perfect to do that down on the foothills here in Greylock Glen on the east side of Mount Greylock. Also down at Canoe Meadows, which is very close to Herman Melville's Arrowhead and my home, as well as on the Ashawiltacook Rail Trail, which used to be a railroad when I was a young kid here.
Total distance 10 miles. Total time 30 minutes. Split pace 9 minutes 10 seconds per mile.
We are at the summit, so I'm going to go ahead and come up here. And this is Bascom Lodge. This building was also built by the CCC, the Civil Conservation. And then this is the War Memorial, which is blocked off right now because of renovation. So I'm going to go ahead and park down here in the Summit parking lot, and then what I'll do is I'll get out and I'll show you around the summit. Bascom Lodge closed about a week ago, actually. All right, here we go. So there's a great picture of the monument, the war monument. It's a beautiful day because you got the blue sky, the white clouds coming in amongst the spruce trees. All right, so we're gonna walk up the sidewalk here, head up towards the monument. And what I'm gonna do first is I think there is actually a 3D model of the mountains here within the state reservation, which will give you a good idea. And I'll keep the camera down low so that you can actually see the change in elevation depending on the mountains. So here you go. It says 600 million years ago, this area was under a warm, shallow ocean. As the underlying tectonic plates shifted, their continents collided, pushing the land upward into a great range of mountains. The ocean sediments were compressed with tremendous pressure and heat, forming the quartzite, marble, and schist of Mount Greylock. 300 million years of continual erosion by wind and rain have created the landscape we see. Today, this site is part of the 12,500 acre Mount Greylock State Reservation. The Appalachian Trail, on its way from Georgia to Maine, crosses this summit. Mount Greylock inspires writers and artists, challenges hikers and skiers, and provides a home for flora and fauna not found anywhere else in Massachusetts. So this is where the town of Williamstown is, and you can actually, Route 7 is right here, okay, going out, heading down south to Pittsfield, and then it continues down into South County. This is the summit right here, which is Mount Greylock. You can see the hopper trail I was talking about earlier. This is Mount Prospect, and that's actually where the hopper is right down in the valley there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pan over to here. You'll see this sign. So the sign states the summit, an island above the clouds, Mount Greylock State Reservation. And you can see this is the layout from up above. This is where the monument is. This is the parking lot that we just walked out of over here. And then here is the Bascom Lodge, which is right over here. And what I'll do is I'll walk down there so that you can see it. Let me see if I need to pull my camera in so it'll be a little bit broader of a view for you. So we'll come down here. When we go down next to the lodge, it's going to seem very quiet because, like I said, the road here closes in about another hour and a half. They have all the picnic tables lined up. They're usually spread about on the property up here on the summit, but they're just putting them all together there. You'll see that all of the windows now are boarded up. The weather does get quite harsh up here. Typically in the summertime alone, there's a difference of 10 degrees from down where the visitor center is and up here on the summit. So here at Bascom Lodge, you can see, according to the sign, that there's overnight accommodations, there's a cafe, snack bar, gift shop, and then it tells you if you want to gain some more information and reservations about Bascom Lodge, you just go call 413-743-1591, www.bascomlodge.net. You can call them, and if you wanted to make reservations for next year, you can certainly do that, but they won't be opening up until the late spring. So here you can see the Bascom Lodge. It's owned by the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation, which is abbreviated DCR, and it's managed by the Bascom Lodge Group. Here's another plaque that's been put right into the rocks, and it's talking about John Bascom, who lived from 1827 to 1911. Rest for the weary. Bascom Lodge has welcomed hikers, skiers, and sunrise seekers since its completion in 1938. Designed by Pittsfield architect Joseph MacArthur Vance, the lodge was built by Civil Conservation Corps enrollees with stone and lumber harvested from Greylock slopes. Its name honors John Bascom, an early Greylock Reservation Commissioner who was a paramount advocate for constructing a fine summit house. So this was dedicated to him because he was the very first commissioner. And this is what it looked like while they were building it. You can see all the lumber they cleared out on the top and the monument itself, which it still looks the same. It's going under repair right now because, like I said, the temperatures are very, very harsh up here in the wintertime. And what happens, you can see the old cars, the Model Ts and whatnot, that they were using. And that was the building that the Civil Conservation Corps would have lived in. And then this is how it looks right now. I'll bring this back down. There you go. This was the Bascom Lodge under construction. You see a couple of Civil Conservation Corps workers up on the roof putting the wood shingles on. And then this is the lodge takes shape. There was a little shelter up here on the peak. This was way back in the 1870s. It actually shows in the 1870s an Adams hotel keeper built this summit hut above, shown in 1889, to provide primitive lodging for summer hikers. The first attempt to accommodate Greylock's visitors, and the hut was indicative of the growing local interest in the mountain as a scenic resource. In 1885, Berkshire business people set aside 400 acres at the peak, beginning a conservation effort that continues to this day. And then there is John C. Bascom himself After retiring as the president of the University of Wisconsin in 1887, John C. Bascom returned to his previous position as a professor at Williams College, which is the #1 private college in all of the United States of America, located at the foot of the mountain in Williamstown. He became one of the first park commissioners and a powerful advocate for preservation and expanded public access. All right, so there is a view of the tower, the War Memorial again. Now I'm standing in front of Bascom Lodge facing north, as you can probably tell from the shadow being caused by the sun, to the south side of Bascom Lodge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up this grass knoll here, and this is where we're going to find the rock that was engraved with a saying from Henry David Thoreau. This is actually one of my nicest or favorite walks, because we get into these spruce trees here, or fir trees I should say, and the smell is absolutely amazing. So here is the rock, and it says, "As the light increased, I discovered around me an ocean of mist." Whoop. Okay, so let me start over again. I must have hit a button again. So, as the light increased, I discovered around me an ocean of mist, which by chance reached up to exactly the base of the tower and shut out every vestige of the earth, while I was left floating on this fragment of the wreck of the world. On my carved plank in cloudland, a situation which required no aid from the imagination to render it impressive. Henry David Thoreau. Reference to a visit to Mount Greylock from a week on the Concord and Merrimack River. You can see how healthy these blue spruce trees are. They're absolutely, oh, the scent is, I wish you were here with me. So we're going to come up here. We'll continue up this path. If you go there to the left, that's where it's going to head up to the monument that you can see up there and through the trees. But we're going to go over here. This is another vantage point that you can see that is going to be overseeing Adams, heading up towards North Adams and beyond. So I'm going to step over this wall and we'll go down so that you can get a good view. There's actually a geologic survey. U.S. Coast and Geological Survey. And if I turn around, you'll be able to see what it says. Let's see. 1936. Gray mag, it says. I don't see an elevation on it, which is very weird. $250 fine or imprisonment for disturbing this mark. I don't know why it doesn't have a elevation on it. Alright, so we're going to go down here. And I have to walk gingerly. I would hate to fall and drop you. So you can see down here, there's that lime plant, Pfizer's again. You can see there still is some foliage. And you can see that there's some of the